Welcome to the Compass Method, powered by Purpose and Plants, where science meets soul and thriving begins when you find your true north. Hosted by Dr. Yolanda Rivera-Caudill, a double board certified physician, mother of three, and founder of the Tiny Beat Lifestyle Medicine and Pediatric Clinic, and
Chelsea Dye, a certified lifestyle medicine coach, wellness strategist, and creator of Alchemist Untamed. This show brings the real science to real life, powered by our passion project, Purpose and Plan.
Each episode explores how small shifts in food, movement, mindset, and family life can create massive results. Together, Dr. Yolanda and I share a compass for better life, a grounded guide to plant-forward health, brain-body balance, and modern motherhood.
From pediatric wellness and family health to neuroscience, nutrition, and mindset mastery, we will help you pause with a purpose, align your habits with your values, and rediscover what it means to thrive.
Powered by Purpose and Plants, because thriving begins when you're powered by Purpose and Plants.
Welcome back. Welcome back to our second episode of Compass Method Podcast.
And we are exploring purpose, plants, and the science of realignment. I am Chelsea Dye, wellness strategist and lifestyle medicine coach. And
Dr. Yolanda Rivera-Caudill, a pediatrician and lifestyle medicine physician.
And together we have Purpose and Plants Lifestyle Method, and we are here to share with you tips, tricks, and tools to make your life healthier, happier, using what you already have, the lifestyle medicine principles. So with episode 1, we went over Dr. Yolanda's origin story and her journey from being a traditional pediatrician to lifestyle medicine, and her amazing journey as a mother, community leader, and entrepreneur. And today we will be exploring a little bit more about my origin story and what brings me passion and why we are here today.
Yes, I'm going to interview a wonderful Chelsea, and I am not much of an interviewer, so she did a better job than I did. So I have my notes in here. And when I talk about Chelsea, it reminds me so much about my dad, because my dad, everybody knew, and everybody's like, oh, you know Chelsea. Everybody knows Chelsea. She's like everybody. It's like, oh, I don't have to introduce her. Yeah, that Chelsea.
Maybe infamous.
Wonderful. So you've been in the wellness space for long time. And what was the moment of experience that first made you truly care about health, happiness? What was that shift? What makes you care about helping people change the way they do things?
Well, it's really interesting because I think when you look at your whole history, you see that there are sort of crumbs of what laid the foundation for my passion for health and wellness. But I know that the big transformation happened about almost 15 years ago when my father was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And it was an interesting journey. I had sort of a beautiful opportunity to be able to go and spend time with him and my mom during his treatment. And where they had the treatment, it was an East meets West approach. And I got really curious. There was an integration between traditional Chinese medicine and the traditional medicine. He had radiation. And I got very curious about healing, other modalities of healing, specifically plant-based diet and movement and
Up until then, you were not a plant-based.
No, I wasn't. I was really pretty healthy in what I ate. I always juiced. I was interested in the kitchen, but I wasn't passionate to the same extent. So that was a catalyst behind my journey of learning so much about plant-based lifestyle, going to plant-based medicine or plant-based chef training, and really feeling that I needed to bring this style of eating to Savannah. I was living in Savannah at that time, even though I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota, and had lived in Boston. And so I was the first to open a wellness bar here in Savannah, Georgia, which was juice, smoothies, not groundbreaking, but what I realized is that education, especially in a small southern town, and this was over a decade ago, just on the heels of my dad's cancer. And he is, by the way, thriving now. Well, he's living and doing well, one day at a time. But that was an opportunity for me, opening something where people had no idea what juice and smoothies, what whole food plant-based diet was. Yes. And they certainly did not think of it as something that could be used to heal. Yeah.
And it's interesting because trying to help other people, you found this journey, just kind of like me, looking for helping kids. I end up helping myself.
Oh, absolutely. I think, though, I do want to note that I had the beauty in that I was exposed to so many. I was exposed to a variety of different healthy diets growing up. My parents weren't perfect, but I also had a great grandmother who was a Seventh-day Adventist. And for those of you who don't know, Seventh-day Adventists are part of the Blue Zone community. So she was in Minnesota, but she was plant-based. And I have, small memories of her. And granted, she was quite old when I knew her, but and her plant-based diet and her sprouts and her up with the sunrise. And it was far more than just her plant-based diet.
It's interesting because they've done studies. I mean, that's why they're Blue Zone in California. This is the only Blue Zone with the Blue Zones are people that live the longest, centenarians that live in a community as a whole, that they live longer. And they've been studied extensively because in the United States, they are the one group that live the longest. And part of their secret sauce is their way they eat.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And so you, like me, you're a daddy's girl.
Yes.
My dad is my hero. And so he was a huge part of your why. But what is the biggest lesson that he taught you about how to take care of yourself and living fully?
Well, I have to say, my mom is amazing. She's the foundation of this as well. She gave me a lot of nuggets of wisdom throughout. She may not always be the most consistent with her health habits, but she exposed me to such a huge variety of different things, from acupuncture to macrobiotic diet way before it was cool. But my father was the one who had a consistent routine growing up. And it was he embodied and lives the idea of self-care as being a priority even before it was cool, even before there was a title for it. So I have distinct memories. He juiced for my whole family in the morning. So he was the one to get us up, and he would make carrot juice, maybe with a little apple. And he was stretching, and movement is part of his medicine, and was really part of our lifestyle for both of my parents. And so having that as my upbringing has really, it's part of my life in a way that if you incorporate later.
You build on that.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
Good.
So
yes.
it's a huge blessing. And thank you to Dad for all of that. And he still continues to stretch every single morning without fail.
That's good. When did you realize that your ADHD was, because I don't know if people don't know, but Chelsea has ADHD, and it's unbelievable because this is the most organized person that I've met in my life. It's unbelievable that she does have ADHD. She says that. I don't know.
I do.
Yeah. But when did you realize that it was a superpower and not a flaw?
Well, I have to just take you back to the challenge that I had. It was a really challenging thing for me growing up. I was not... School was not easy. My brain did not function like everyone else's. I'm also mildly dyslexic, so I had to teach myself from the time I was young a totally different method. I've been unmedicated, not on prescription medication for, for my whole life, and I taught myself a different method of learning, but I always sort of felt like I was embarrassed by it and didn't want to be for people to actually see that I was doing things differently, whether I was taking notes differently or organizing differently in order to be able to live a life that was, quote, normal. And so only after after I had my daughter and she's 13, did I realize, oh goodness, there are some advantages, because with those, that teaching myself how to learn and also teaching myself how to organize, I came up with these really kind of unexpected ways to organize my life. I live by my calendar. I'm really specific about scheduling the things that I know bring me peace and movement and morning routines.
Organization is key for children with ADHD, for adults.
Yeah. And, organizing is silly things like my outfits for my workout outfits for the entire week. So there wasn't that oh no, that last minute freak out, which was a normal thing. And then I realized, all of these little tips and tricks and tools that I've been using for all these years are actually allow me to live a more free life. And also, they're really practical for other people, whether you have ADHD or not.
Yes. I need to learn some of these tools. I know that. I've always said I need to learn organization from you. What part of your personal journey, wellness journey, do you think that people don't know and they really should?
Well,
me too. I know.
So I have to say what I'm good at first before I tell you what I'm really bad at. I am good at movement because it's part of my life. It's what balances my brain and actually keeps me so I don't get bluesy, because I have a tendency, I've had little bouts of minor depression in the past, and so I move for that. So I'm great with my movement, with my plant-based chef background.
One of the benefits. Yeah. One of the big benefits of movement. Go ahead,
and then
discovered that by yourself.
I did, and my lots of late night research too. But my diet is really good, but my sleep is terrible. Mm-hmm. And that's not true. For the last 5 to 6 years, I've been, I can be convinced with science. Mm-hmm. So I joke that I'm a neuroscience geek, but I'm constantly looking, just like Dr. Yolanda, just like you, I'm constantly looking at the research and the data. And within the last 5 years, there's been just such a highlight of the importance of sleep. And I used to poo-poo it. And I don't like to sleep because I feel like it's a waste of time. Mm-hmm,
but I know that.
Yeah, but I realized that if I'm going to be committed to my whole health, that I have to work on my sleep. So I've been doing that. And ironically, the way that I did it was to create a morning routine that I love and that was fun, so that I would be excited to go to bed. It's almost like I was tricking myself.
Yes, that works.
Yeah, so I was excited to go to bed so I could wake up and do my morning routine. And I would set things out in the morning, and I still do that, so that so I'm preparing, and then, like a kid before Christmas. It's not that exciting. My routine is not, but that, I use that.
But that's what they say. I mean, we learn the techniques to trick our brain because our brain is not that smart. But if you say, it's like if you tell yourself, I'm stupid, your brain is going to believe that.
Yeah.
But if you train yourself to say, I can do this, I can do hard things, and your brain was going to believe you.
Yes.
So this is proven by science that this is amazing that is work for you.
Well, and this is how we actually have created our program, is really so much about telling yourself you can do it.
And and then the thing is also, there's so simple things. So simple things like sleep. And it's important that you said that you're not still good at that. We've been doing this for, lifestyle medicine since 2019 and pediatrics for so long. And I was never done exercise until recently.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of what you're not capable. It's what, it's a journey. It's a lifetime journey that you're going to be learning, and you do better when you learn better, like Maya Angelou said.
Well, and I think different phases of your life present different challenges and opportunities.
Absolutely.
And, knowing that when you have little babies at home, sleep can try to be your priority, but it's not always the easiest thing to get. And so if you're out going on that uphill battle with kids that don't sleep, and you are hammering into yourself that you must get to sleep,
absolutely,
you're creating more stress than it's worth. And my daughter was a good sleeper after the first year, but she was terrible for the first year. And I think had I had the mindset where sleep was the most important thing at that phase,
Yes,
it would have ended
that would have
up
been hurtful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So figuring out where you are
Yes.
and what you need at that phase is super, super important.
And what I tell parents too is, you're doing the best you can with the tools that you have.
Yeah.
So if that's not working, look for more tools. Keep looking and use your resources the best you can. Speaking about things that can go well, what was the recent moment that you didn't go as planned, and you used that as a momentum to change things?
Gosh, things don't go as planned always.
Every day.
Yeah. So,
What was the most recent one?
I have to say that mindset plays such a big role for me, and how I build in pauses in my day so that I can take those things that don't go well. I recently had a tremendous amount of flooding issues around my house, and it's been a couple of months of really like a whole bunch of not glamorous work, and that didn't go my way. But I had the opportunity to learn so much about building and construction and foundations, and that seems silly, but I felt really empowered to have the opportunity to learn about that. And now I have this whole other set of knowledge that I can use to speak, and
out of necessity.
out of necessity. And then I think every day something doesn't go as planned, but the question that I ask myself is like, how is this an opportunity? Like
It's
often,
a mind shift.
yeah, it is. Often, the most challenging things that I've had in my life, my divorce was so challenging for me, is the biggest blessing. And so now looking back at that massive shift in my life, that was really pretty unexpected to me.
And the teaching that, Brady's learning from you. I'm teaching that to the kids at the mind shift, to how, and pausing. If you don't pause, what happens when we pause? We use the frontal lobe, which is our thinking lobe, part of the brain. And when we're not, we're just in emergency mode, and you don't let your brain do the job and think and analyze the situation. So that's why it's so important to take a pause and breathe.
And that's interesting, because that is what I realized. If I don't build in, going back to scheduling, if I don't build in pauses, and when I'm driving from one place to another, granted I might be tight on time, but I don't listen to music, I don't listen to anything, I just take that time to breathe. And building that in, knowing that that's part of my routine, changes me from fight or flight into a more functional human being.
Yeah, that's wonderful. But like I said, I admire you so much. You've created all these things. When you choose yourself, doing a workout, a run, business push, what do you hope that Brady is learning when she's watching you? What is she learning from you?
Oh, goodness. This is something that's really interesting, especially as being a woman in our culture and a mother. I know that often it's hard to choose ourselves, but I know that the person that I am, if I don't choose myself first, and give myself a break, go to bed early, go for a run, do a yoga class, take a minute to make myself dinner, and not always be worried about how I'm serving other people, whether it's your child or maybe you're a caregiver. I think the important thing for me is I think she's learning that if you don't fill your cup, there's not enough to go around. You can't be the best human being, and you can't serve others in the way that you want to.
And that's so important, that more moms, especially, everyone, parents in general, that they need to learn that. And that's one reason why sometimes they don't do physical activity or put themselves first, even if it's a bath, anything that, depending on the situation, the stage in life that you are.
Yeah.
But take yourself seriously, that you need a break. And that's why the community and having a tribe, a community that helps you raise your kid is so important, because you need that space for yourself.
Well, and I think I do a 7-minute NSDR, which is non-sleep deep rest. It's basically like Shavasana for yoga, if you've ever done yoga. And I do that in the morning when I wake up before I do anything else, which helps to fill my cup. And she, my daughter knows. She knows that that's happening. She's like, oh, you're doing your yoga rest. But I take time periodically throughout the day to do that too if I need to. And sometimes recently, I have a teenager, so sometimes I hit a point where we're battling a little bit, and the battle of the wills. And I know that if I don't take a minute to give myself a timeout and do that, then the person that I am is not the person that I want to be.
And that's wonderful, because you both get the best of you. You, and she does too. It's so important.
Yeah.
And that lesson.
And I think as mothers, we need to teach our children that.
Yes.
That's not selfish.
It's not, it's like sleep, like you were saying. Oh, I'll sleep, you say, when I'm dead. Why? I have so many things to do. But I realize that when I sleep better, I can be a better physician. I can be a better person. I'm more efficient. I'm more creative. I mean, I don't get as sick as often, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is such a powerful thing when we prioritize what is the priority. So it's just a matter of learning, and then it's like, I'm going to work with this. You show up, like I said, everybody knows you, and you do so many things that I don't know how you do them, but you show up for your community in so many ways. The schools, the Rotary, WSAV, what keeps you that non-negotiable for you? What is it?
Oh, this is such an interesting question. So I'm really introverted, and I have had social anxiety for my whole life.
People cannot believe that, but yes.
I know, and so I embodied the motto, just show up, early on, and take a deep breath and just show up. But just as with sleep, the more that I research the power that community and connection has for our long-term health, and if you go back to the blue zones, the commonality between all of those cultures or communities is the community component. I have convinced myself that it's really important, and what I realize is when I just show up, I get more out of it than anyone else around me. So plus I get a chance to, the things that I learn from other people are so powerful and helping me to look at things in a different way. And I love working with youth. I have an opportunity to coach sports, and for me, seeing things from the youth perspective, specifically like the middle school, young upper school perspective, is so interesting and really lights me up and makes me feel like there's an opportunity to change the youth of the future. And that sounds so trite, but
you are.
Yeah.
You are, because then learning some of these things, you're also projecting on them as well. And this is such a wonderful thing. And one myth that about getting healthy that you're determined to crush for good.
Oh, I think this goes back to what you and I both agree for purpose and plans, but in general, that it has to be all or nothing, that you have to do everything all at once or you're a failure. And that one mistake means that you should just start all over again. But if you look at it in reality, if you have it stack and start to make good choices, if you fall back one step, you're already 4 steps up the flight of stairs.
Exactly.
And then the other thing is, we shouldn't be counting calories. We don't do that in our house. And we should be counting plants and fiber and steps and using a tracker. I've been using a tracker, which isn't always right for everyone, but looking at yourself as an experiment.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love to do experiments of myself.
Yeah.
And you know what? The other thing is not comparing with another person.
Oh, God, yes.
God forbid I would compare my life with yours. I would be crushed. Like, oh my goodness, I would never been able to do that. But comparing with my own progress, I was not able, I wasn't doing it. When I started, I was like this wimpy 4-pound things. And now I can work with 12 pounds.
I know. And she's a badass.
And it's like seeing that progress and seeing like these little muscles, baby muscles that are coming it's so good. I'm not comparing myself with anyone. I would never look at your muscles because they're your muscles. They're my muscles. Were not there and now they are. Oh. So having that, and this is important for the kids to know, that especially the adolescents, they in Instagram, there's like, it's been proven, they compare themselves with somebody else. And that is so detrimental.
Oh, I mean, the comparison game is one that we will never win. So when we win, we can align with our own why and our own purpose and check back in on that. And that's one thing I do every day. Check back in on that. And then you're more capable of ignoring the competition and just leaning into who you are and being the best version of you.
Yeah, not listening to that noise.
Yeah. So in closing, I think, one really important thing that people should take away, aside from what we all agree on, that comparison is the thief of joy. But that it's about making one step at a time. And even if you are 3 steps up the stairs with positive decisions and you fall back 2, you're still one step higher than you were in the beginning.
You learn.
Yeah.
Already.
Life is a journey. And if you can find the joy in the journey, which I work to try to do every day, then it makes it so much more vibrant. And
find your tribe to help you do this together.
Yeah.
It's so important to do it as a community.
Yeah. So on that note, in closing, I think we would love for you to join our community. We have Purpose and Plants Lifestyle Academy, and we offer tips, tricks, and tools on how to live healthier lives using the lifestyle medicine principles, meaning everything that you already have. So take away the analysis paralysis and come join us for our academy. If you join before the end of the year, you can use HSA FSA from 2025 and roll it over into 2026 for our upcoming Purpose and Plants Academy 4-part masterclass, which begins in the middle of January. I think I got all that in.
Yes.
Was I breathing? On that note, we're going to take a pause.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us. This was episode 2, and we can't wait to share with you some more exciting guests and tips, tricks, and more.
Yep. Until the next one.
Cheers.